And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you guys all to the Hello Pivot live broadcast on Thursday, every Thursday, as you guys know, with the Hello LLC. And if you don't know, Hello stands for helping entrepreneurs leverage leading edge optimizations. And more importantly, it's about helping everyone live life optimally. That's what we do with love, with kindness, integrity, and commitment, more importantly, at the end of the day. And today we have a special guest with us. If you guys don't know, you're about to find out who Miss Raya DeCoste is. She is a mother of twins. More power to you. She's Haitian roots from New York. She's a coach. She's a mentor. She's an entrepreneur. She's an author. She owns a pair of cleaning services in Atlanta, Georgia. She's also a hairdresser. She goes beyond the services, or should I say, she goes beyond, servicing other people and really helping other people in their journey, in their life, especially with her coaching, especially with her mentorship, and all the things that she's up to. And without further ado, Miss DeCoste, how are you doing today, man? Talk to us.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Hope you guys are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you guys know, it's me, it's Tara, it's Miss Rhea today. And so we're going to be going through an abundance amount of questions today, as we love to share, more about who you are and what you are about. And so, so we can get right into this, tell us, who is Miss Rhea? Talk to us.
Well, Raya is a Haitian born, migrate from Haiti to New York, grew up in New York, um, been all over, moved to DC, and now I'm in Atlanta. Been in Atlanta over 20 years. It's been fun. I met my children's father here and have two daughters. Entrepreneur, wear many hats, very busy, live a busy life with church and community and you name it, I do it. You name it, it's Raya. Some people say I'm superwoman because I wear so many hats, but it's so fun to be able to help others and knowing that I'm making a difference whoever I encounter.
I love it, Miss Raya. Well, we're so excited to have you here. And I really am curious, when did you start your entrepreneurship? Like, how many years have you been an entrepreneur and why? Why are you an entrepreneur?
Well, I've always liked leadership. Growing up, I've always have responsibility in the house. At age 9, I pretty much was running my mom's home. She was busy, so I took care of everything. Then at age 15, I was raising my little sister who is 9 years old. She was 9 at the time. We had just came to the US in '89. And so when I moved to Atlanta in 2000, about 2000, I said, I want to have my own business, but I was trying to figure what do I want to do that's gonna I'll be able to help other people and also take care of things. I was single at the time, so I was helping somebody cleaning, and I decided, I think I like this. I like to decorate. I was supposed to be a designer. I got admitted to Atlanta, this designer school in Atlanta. And I had just bought a house at the time, 26 years old. I said, well, I can't wear two hats. So I decided not to go. And I started cleaning with this lady. I said, I think I like this. And people are like, oh, I like what you do. So I decided to start my own. And how many years later, I'm still doing it. And the thing that I really enjoy with what I do is that I can help other people. I have employed so many people that I see progress, buy houses, have better things for their family, put their children to college. And it's not about the money, it's about the passion and being able to change lives. So that's why I became a business owner, because I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader, and I like to lead.
I love it.
I
I
hope I
love it.
answer your question.
I love it. So, I got a question. So, what came first? Was it the cleaning service? Was it the coaching? Was it the mentor? Was it the author? To take us through that guide, what got you to the superwoman? Because not only, are you talking it, but you're walking it and you're doing so many things, which is crazy in itself.
Yes, well, I would say the mentorship came first because I've always been a leader. So even in church, around my community, people always call me for advice whenever they want to do something, because I'm one of those that can think at the same time doing other things. I can multitask. So and I've gave so many free advices. I said, I might as well be a coach, but I did not become a coach until um I would say about 3 years ago. That's when I decided to go to school and obtain the certification. But I would say the mentorship came first. I was working for, I was part of a mentorship in Atlanta called Boys to Men. And so I decided to go there, but I did it in church. I started in church, and then I decided to go help that organization. And but I had the cleaning doing, I had both actually. I had the cleaning and the mentorship. I was doing them at the same times. So I would say the cleaning started professionally first, but the mentoring been my life.
I love it. Well, in a sense, all of that comes together, right?
Yes,
Mentoring,
yes,
the entrepreneurship, being a hairdresser. My auntie was a hairdresser, and you
yes,
are nothing more than a glorified mentor, counselor, everything above, and the hairdresser at the end. Of taking care and hearing these stories, and I'm pretty sure you got multiple stories on stories, and so share with us, if throughout this journey of your life, what advice would be the one thing that you would share with people throughout your journey, right? Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to another entrepreneur?
what I know now and what I wish I had done back then was to step back, manage instead of doing. Because when you're doing the job, you cannot expand. You cannot grow like you want to grow when you're in the business. I started in the business, and because I was so particular, that my clients got really spoiled. So it was hard to expand, to bring other people by themselves, because they got a costume to seeing me, and it's so bad to the point where they can tell if I'm not there, because I have that special touch. So I would say anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what business you're gonna be. Of course, you should work in it, because you need to know your task. You need to know your clientele. You need to know what kind of service you're providing. But I would say, along with that, make sure you have someone who is very knowledgeable, who knows what they're doing, and who can represent you. So that way, it doesn't matter whether you show up or not, that the customer will always be happy.
That's, I think the biggest thing about business is understanding the value of customer service. And it's, customer service shows itself in so many different realms, whether it's, verbal or nonverbal. And just it's amazing. And it's something that I've heard before with other entrepreneurs that say, my clients can tell when I'm not in the process somewhere, if I'm not, there, if I'm not, a part of what's going on. And it's because I have this conversation with my brother as well. It's because it's your baby. It's your business. You're the one who is most proud of it. And it's also your reputation. And so you're going to make sure that you go to the ninth degree or the nth degree to make sure that things are taken care of. But in the same beauty of it, sometimes employees that are people that we employ don't have the same, kind of thought process, because it's not their baby, right? And so as an entrepreneur, there's something that we all love within our job, right? Or our business. And so what I would ask you, what absolutely, is what makes Miss Raya wake up in the morning to do this business? What is the day in, day out love that you find that keeps you motivated to show up and deliver the level of service that you deliver?
What makes me wake up in the morning and to do what I do, regardless of how I feel, is when I finish cleaning somebody's house and the look that they have on their face, how grateful they are, how they are so happy that I came and I did above and beyond, whether it was me or one of my staff. Even like yesterday, I went to this client, she was sick, and so I went in after, and she texted me. She said, "Oh my God, it feels so good to come into a clean place, smell fresh, and I'm so grateful that you were able to squeeze me in, and thank you so much." I mean, and that enough make me want to keep going, even when sometimes I'm like, I think I'm tired of this, I want to give it up. But when I get this type of messages, and how when I get there, I'm supposed to be telling them thank you for using my service, but it's the opposite. They're telling me thank you for coming, thank you for making time for me. So that makes my world go around.
That I will have to second. As a business owner, it's when you have a happy client, when you have someone that just says, "You have made my day," and you go, "Thank you." That really makes my day as a business owner, because there's a level of integrity of people's work, right? And when people show up within the integrity of their work and be able to do what they need to do to make sure that other clients are taken care of, is phenomenal. So one of my other questions for you is, what do you see, where do you see R&M Services, Miss Raya, going within the next 5 years? What does that look like for you?
Well, I mean, what RM is doing right now is something that I have been doing for many years. I had kind of started, but I never really combined everything. And because I'm almost like the agency where people would call for referral, whatever services, and most of the times either I can do it or I know somebody. So I said, I need to sum up everything in one, so that way, whatever service they need, they see they can reach out to me. If I can do it, I know somebody. So I am praying and hoping that this will expand. And the initials is actually my daughter's name, because I want to leave a legacy behind for them, whether they want to keep it going or not. But I want something that when they get older, they can say, okay, Mom, this is Mom passion. Mom wants to help, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna follow her footprint and be grateful, and knowing that if I only help one person, I accomplished something.
Absolutely. That is, it's the legacy of being able to leave, something for the next generation.
Yes.
That's something that we talk about, and being able to understand how to, not even just a legacy, but to give something that is a passion that you're raising. And, because what happens is, in families, is a parent's passion, because kids are around it becomes sometimes their passion, right? Yes. And being able to set this legacy is really something that's dynamic. Mr. Jones, did you have another question for her, Ms. Raya?
Well, especially that we're talking about technology and things of that sort. And then you mentioned something that was key, right? Being able to pass this along, to your children. And this is something that we share with people all the time, is that, your job that you currently have right now, you can't pass that along, right? And then even as we talk about this robotics, this AI and things of that sort, that are taking place, and especially with you implementing some of these things into your business,
Yes.
Tell us, what would you share with yourself, back, when you were, 20, 22, what advice would you give yourself, right? Because we talked about, what would you tell somebody else, but what would you tell yourself deep down inside? Hey, this is what you really need to do, because that is something that you're dealing with now.
Well, It's funny you say that. When I was 22, I actually was a hairdresser at the time and working for a healthcare agency. And I said to myself, one day I'm going to be working for myself and I'm going to make an impact. Because at one point I wanted to work in Hollywood doing hair. And I had did some stuff for Cosmopolitan magazine in New York. And and I said, you know, I don't want to be in for I just want to be in the back and do the things that I enjoy doing. But never thought that I would have a cleaning service that would put me among people that I never thought I would have been around. So so it's almost like I feel like I'm living my dream from when I was 21, 22, because at that age I had met Ben Vereen, I had met some other folks, and been in Atlanta, and the kind of clientele that I actually service, a lot of them are pretty popular and have a name for themselves. So so it's like it's a dream. I'm living the dream. My oldest used to say, "Mommy work with superstars, with people with money." She used to say that. She used to say, "Mommy have money," and because of the clientele that I have, and so now, and for my kids to see the people that I'm around and what I surrounded myself, definitely give them their expectation is so high. It's unbelievable because of what I exposed them to. So I'm living my dream, Mr. Jones, because I've always wanted to be my own boss, and that's what I am.
That's awesome. What is during that time when you were doing some work, you know, there in, you know, in the fashion community, what is one of your favorite moments from that time?
I was working with this male model because we were doing a show for Matrix, the hair product, and so we had a big show. So and this guy, he was so humble, and when I was helping him get ready to go on stage, um he he was so humble, so appreciative at that time, where I was like, wow, I'm like, this man is a superstar, he's a model, he's handsome, and he was just like, I almost felt like I was dreaming, because I never thought some of these people would have been that humble. Because when you watch TV, you see how some of them can be arrogant and different things, and I was like, wow. So that was a wow moment there, and just knowing that I'm helping someone and I'm helping them look good, and whether they were nervous, whether they didn't think they were gonna be able to walk, but they did it, and we all were like backstage ready to cheer them on and let them know you did great, you look great. So that was a great highlight.
Beautiful.
And so, you know, speaking of that, right? You know, based on your experience, you know, what's one skills or mindset, you know, shifts that, you know, you went through in your life to get you to, you know, where you are now? We all have this moment or this mind shift that, you know, clicks, and then all of a sudden we take off. Do you remember that moment, or do you have one of those moments you can share with us?
My moment was passion, loving what you do. Because I'm a servant, I love to serve. So anytime I can put a smile on somebody's face, that's what made me happy. And whether I was doing hair or taking care of somebody or cleaning somebody's place, those things were always my goal. They were my strive. They are they're the thing that makes my heart bubbles, knowing that I'm putting a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah. And that's what we share with people too. Find your passion and be able to be inspired, right? To
Yes.
continue, because a lot of people are motivated, when they're mad, when they're upset, or something's not going their way, and the motivation kind of rubs off like a shower.
Yeah.
What are you inspired about that you will continue to do when don't want to do it? What are you inspired about that you'll be self-disciplined about showing up and doing that as well? And I think that's one of the things that I would share with people is ask yourself, are you motivated or are you inspired? Because inspired will never give up, will never quit, and will keep going no matter what it takes. And motivation is you being motivated, listening to Eric Thomas, listening to Tony Robbins, listening to your favorite song, right? You
Mhm.
all We all kind of have that moment that all of a sudden you're playing in collegiate sports, then all of a sudden the song comes on and you just get this extra boost of energy that just came from nowhere because of this song. And that that reminded you of the inspiration that you have inside of you, because motivation just lasts for a certain while. So
Mhm.
with that being said, with you talking about RM services, and your legacy that you're leaving, if you could share with the people what RM services is all about, and you guys buckle up because it's about, it's a lot. Come on, talk to us, man.
Well, R&M stand for you name it, you get it. Whatever service you need, you call me. We provide cleaning service. We declutter. We organize. We do valet service like dry cleaning. Pick up your mail. You're going to be out of town and you don't want anybody in your house. But if you're gonna be gone for like a week or two, it depends where you live. You need to get your mail because when you come back, your mailbox may be hacked. If you have plants, they may not survive the whole week you're gone. It depends how long you're gonna be and what kind of plants you have. I have a green thumb. I can go anything from vegetable to plants. So we provide those services. If you have pets, we'll check on them. We'll walk them. If you have a loved one that needs someone to come sit with them during the day or at night, we provide that service. Let me see. From cleaning to office, most people in their offices, they'll have some cleaning company come and they just do surface cleaning. Us, we detail, we move things around, and we make sure everything is exactly how you left it. The only difference when you come back, you're not gonna see no crumbs. It's gonna be spotless, and you can tell we've been there because it smells so good. We deodorize, we make sure everything is clean so the staff doesn't get sick. We prevent all that. I mean, during COVID, none of my staff got sick. I never got COVID. None of my clients got sick unless they went somewhere and they didn't do what they were supposed to do. But we do it all. I know someone for carpet cleaning. I know somebody to get your floor strip or wax. Handyman, whatever you need done, you call R&M. I bet you she can help you.
I love it. I love it. So if your
Ah,
office smell like speed, you need to get with RM because she's gonna take care of you. Because it's gonna
Yes.
be good.
I, I needed you in the Houston area about 3 years ago when I was managing that task for an office because I know exactly what you mean. It's like, at that point, they weren't even getting surface level. It was like empty trash and leave. And I was like, I can do that. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
And and that right there speaks to something, Miss Raya, is that the level of quality, you know, anybody can be in business, anybody can show up and do things, but it's the level of quality of service that you say, no, this is our QC control, this is our QC line, like
Yeah.
quality control right here. We everything above this bar is us. And there are people out there, entrepreneurs and businesses, that don't. They kind of cut that corner, and it's people know. People know when the corners are cut, when things are done half, what, people know. And that there's a reason I will never forget. I was, in my corporate career, And I had a client and the big boss showed up. I didn't know the big boss was coming over, but we were working on a project and I was down hands and knees measuring something, taping something off on the floor. And the big boss walked up and I had no clue. I looked up and I was just went back to what I was doing. And the gentleman that was my contact said, "Hey, Tara, you have a second?" And I said, "Oh, absolutely." I jump up. I was like, what do we got? And he's like, "I want to introduce you to the big boss." He introduces me and I was like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry, I was down trying to get some things going on." And a year later into that business relationship, that the big boss would always remind me, the reason I do work with you, Tara, is because when I showed up to the job site, you were on your hands and knees getting the dimensions that were needed for that, project that we were doing. You were on the front line. And that's what clients love, is that, like, you, or the level of quality on the front line and your expectations from your staff and your community to provide that. So, all right, my question for you is, with all of the services that you do, what is the one, like, we're in a big technology boom, right? AI's come out and all of this stuff. What is the one technology, like, thing that you're looking forward to be able to utilize in your business? What would that look like?
I wish I could clone me. I wish I wish technology would come with a clone me that I can be all over the place. But with technology coming in, I mean, it's definitely taking over. Unfortunately, with the kind of work that I do, you need that physical body. But technology is also important too, because that part would be my advertisement. The AI that can call someone sound like it's me calling, or better than me calling, scheduling appointments, following up, making sure the things that I don't get to do, that they do. Like you guys being the magic behind closed door. That's what technology looks like to me. And that's what I'm looking forward to, having AI be able to send reminders, reminding me myself of what I need to do, where I can communicate with my client, but not me physically doing it, my little assistant doing that. I love that technology. And I'm so grateful that we're coming into a season where we are taking a step from manual labor, downsizing it. We still need some manual labor because we still need to get some people employed so they can take care of their family, because not everybody can do technology. But technology is so necessary right now. It's so important with what's going on, with where we're going in this world. AI is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And so, speaking of, your biz in a box that we were able to create for you and build for you, now that you have your biz in a box and you've been able to have it now for a little bit, what would you share with the people now, knowing what your biz in a box is now compared to your static website that you had beforehand? Tell the people, why and what you found out, what the difference was.
Man, having biz in a box is, I mean, there is no word to describe this. It is my blogging. I say everybody need to have one of those, because the technology that you guys are able to put together, stuff that I probably would have never think about. There are a lot of people like me who need this. And I would say, I don't care what your budget is, it's worth the sacrifice. It's worth every penny. It's worth your future. It's worth the business. It's worth to take a chance, because having business in the box is gonna blow your mind, your customer mind, your friends, your family, because everybody I send this, they're like, wow, wow, that's all I'm getting. And that's what I said when I first saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I love it. It's fabulous. And All you guys who's listening to me, if you don't have the money to get this, get your plan, get your strategy, and start saving right now to get this bill, because you are not going to regret it.
I love it. And that's something that we share with people, a lot of the times, especially, now moving forward, utilizing AI, utilizing these strategies. And so often we're, running our business in the old fashioned ways, running our business on what our mom and dad, what our school taught us. And those old ways are no longer the new ways and the active ways that are going to help your business. And especially when you talked about, what is the one thing you're looking for to duplicate yourself? That is exactly what the Biz-N-A-BOX is able to do, is to duplicate yourself, and for you to stop being the janitor in your business, and for you to be the president in your business, and for you to literally sit there and say, hey, go here and get all of this information. No longer you using an old business card. I saw somebody today post, a picture of their business card, and I'm like, brother, nobody's gonna, first of all, take a screenshot, save your number, put your number in their phone, put your email in their phone, and then go and explore all these things. Those days are over and done with, and that's a prime example of people still continuously doing old ways of doing business by having this business card, where now on your phone, on your QR code, people scan that, they can email you, they can go to your Instagram, they can go to your TikTok, they can go to your YouTube, they can go and get all that information, as well as, book that appointment. And so often, we share with business owners, hey, you don't have a business if people don't know about your business and know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're showcasing something that you did 5-10 years ago, you haven't re-strategized, you haven't rebranded yourself before the pandemic, after the pandemic, now we're far beyond the pandemic, then what are you really doing? And this is what I share with people. Do you have a hustle, or do you have a business? Because a business has systems. A business has, implementations of how they're going to scale their business and how they're going to forward their business into the future, because the average age is 30. I was sharing this YouTube, or this post the other day, where this young gentleman walked into the store, and this lady was like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't want cash anymore. I want to be able to have a Bitcoin. I want ETF. And she's like, are you in reality? He's like, I'm in metaverse. I'm in metaverse. And this is what we share with people, is that the future's already here. And this metaverse, this AI that people are running away from, it appalls me when people have this thought process, and yet we forget when we were in the 2000s, when we were sharing with our parents this iPhone, this iPad, the laptop, the big, Apple computer that came out with the screen. And yet we're just so naive to understand that now it's the evolution to where now your iPad, your actual, your cell phone and your computer is about to be put into one. And we're all going to be able to experience this in the metaverse. And people have to have their foundation in order. And that's exactly what we were able to do, for you. And so, you answered, a lot of the questions that I had, but, knowing what you know now and looking back at your old website, what would you have to say to yourself now, knowing the difference between the two? Can you see the loss of business, or not as much business gain from the past till now? How does that look like for you?
I think if I had this when I started 20 something years ago, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now, because I would have blown up. Yes. I mean, this is way overdue. I mean, the people that I have that work with my cleaning website, they've been doing all kind of strategies and doing different things. And I was telling them about you guys. I said, man, you guys been doing your best, but you don't even know the new thing I got going on right now. That is, I said, I'm paying y'all, but somebody else is doing you guys' work. Here's what I told my rep. So then they came back later and said, you know what, we're going to give you a 10% discount on your hosting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I even told my CPA, I said, you need to check this new thing I got going on. And I sent her the link, and she's like, wow. I said, yeah, you can go in there, you can fill that paperwork out, and someone will be in touch with you. And guess what? Free consultation. You don't even have to pay for that. Yes, sir.
You know that it's it warms my heart when you say that, and it's not that we're out here to create competition, but when, just like, when you do a level of service, it raises the bar for everybody else. And and we are proud to be able to provide a business in a box for you that is able to showcase everything that you're doing. Because Miss Raya, something that a lot of people don't know is that about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we used to get mocked and, made fun of and told that we're doing too many things. Like, we were helping people understand, how to gain their health back. We're helping people how to have renewable resources in their homes so they don't have to be dependent on the system. We were teaching people about, technology, mindset, all of these things. And I remember one time David was in a clubhouse room about 3 or 4 years ago, and an entrepreneur that he was in the room with just chewed his side up one side and down the other, because you're focusing on too many things. You have too many things going. I'm confused. I don't know what you're doing. And that is why the business in a box was birthed, was because it was like phooey on that notion of the old way of doing things, where one person has to do one thing. So that would mean, Miss Raya, all you can do is cleaning. You can't help nobody else with any concierge services. You can't help with no coaching. You can't help with any of the crochet, amazing crochet, custom creations that you do. You can't help anybody with any referrals or anything. You only can focus on cleaning. Now that's nonsense. I think all of us here can agree to that. And this is why the business in a box was birthed, is because you, like us, like so many other entrepreneurs, have a multitude of things going on, and they excel at every one of them. And why is it that we require people to be only in one, niche or fitting, or, pigeonhole people into one hole, and that's all they have to do? One niche, that's it. You can only do that. And so for you to share this, and for you to, trust us with your business, really is something that David and I are proud that we were able to bring you something back that represents you. This is your baby. This is you. This is not for us. This is not to represent what we do. Yes, because we get to show other people the great, things that we built for you, which is great, because then you get, traffic and recognition and exposure. But it really is because why not? Why can't you have a multitude of things where people can scroll and say, oh my gosh, she does all of this and hairdressing and that? Oh, I want to be a part of her community.
I totally agree. Yes. When I don't know how David and I became friends, because I one time he was in his house, and then I got the notification he was on, and I log in, and I was so impressed with what he was talking about. And when I heard him talking about bees in the box, and I'm like, what is that? And then I went on, click on his bio, and I'm like, this is interesting. And just like you were saying, Tara, some people want to put you in a box. I never believed that I was a box person, because I always said to myself, why would God give me all these gifts if I have to only use one? And even in church, I would say, I'm not going to go to church and just sit there and not use my gifts. If I can use them here, I'm going to use them somewhere else, because if you don't use them, he's going to take them away from you. So you have to use everything you have. So when you're smart, you're creative, and you know who you are, you're confident, and you know what God is downloading in your heart if you're a believer. And if you're not a believer, you know what your little instinct is telling you, you got to go forward. So my thing is, why not? And I'm so grateful that he did not let that one little mind person shut him down and not fulfill his dream, because nobody knows what you can do, only you. And nobody can tell you what you cannot do. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't do it. So I say, be creative, be all you want to be, do everything that God is giving you, because the sky is the limit. Until you can touch the sky, you don't stop.
And you know, when you were sharing that, it blows me away that when people do say, "Hey, you can't do this, you can't do that." Well, tell Jeff Bezos that he can't have a space company, he can't have a car company, he can't run spaces, and he can't, you know, put chips in people's brains with Neuralink, and he can't, you know, be doing all the amazing things he's doing. Why not? And as we continue to share with people, how you do one thing is how you do another. If you're lazy in one part of your life, you're lazy in all parts of your life. If you communicate effectively, then you will communicate effectively in all areas of your life. And so if you lack in one, or you lack in all. And so many times people miss out on that standpoint, and really not understanding how they show up in life, and the energy that they create, and the time that they spend, right, in having those thought processes, and really moving forward as what you just shared. So, you know, I love that you shared, you know, all this amazing information. And so if you guys don't know, also in our Biz in a Box, we create this amazing thing called your AI Motion Works, that allows you to be able to utilize this for a podcast, for your YouTube, for introducing yourself, for literally allowing AI to introduce yourself and do all these things. Because I get it. Farmers are not great sellers. They grow the fruit, they don't sell the fruit, right? And as entrepreneurs, you're great at the training, you're great at the coaching, but you're not great at the transaction. And sometimes people need that, you know, that little push or that little intro that will be able to set themselves apart. And that's why we created this AI MotionWorks, because we used it, because we were able to implement it in different areas and duplicate ourselves, and know that people wanted some interaction, right? And they wanted an experience. And that's what we're able to create here. And so I want you guys to take a look at this amazing, you know, AI MotionWorks that's in Miss Raya's Biz in a Box. So here we go.
Welcome to the vibrant world of R&M services. From personal concierge services that pamper your daily needs, to igniting your inner spark with life coaching and powerful mentorship, we're here to empower you on every level. Whether you're seeking stylish solutions with R&M designs, cherishing handcrafted keepsakes from R&M crochet, or delving into Raya's personal story, Can You Hear Me Now?, a memoir co-written with her daughter, Brianna. At the heart of it all lies a commitment to service, guided by God's light and fueled by an unyielding passion to help you rise, shine, and leave your mark. So, let's unlock your potential together. Explore the R&M universe, and discover your brilliance. And remember, R&M is always at your service. Contact us today.
Yay! Well,
Awesome.
I love that video, you know, at the end of the day. And I know Miss Raya loves it too, because again, back to that point of AI doing it for you.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
I love it. Well, you know, Miss Raya, the one thing I would ask for you, of you, to share with our audience, and to, you know, your audience that's tuning in as well, is what is one tip of entrepreneurial advice you would leave them with, to the fellow entrepreneurs that we have here?
I would say, whatever that you do, be consistent, be faithful at it, do it well, and always leave a mark. And when I say leave a mark means check, follow up on your clients, send them little gifts every now and then because the competition is high. Everybody do what you do, but they're not as good as you are. And what makes you exceptional, what makes you different is the little things that you do that nobody else does. Is find out what your clients like, is find out what attracts them. So not only you're providing a service, but send a text every now and then. If you know they're sick, check on them. Um, Special holidays, leave a little something. Leave your mark. There's a thing that says, I don't know if I should use that phrase, but there's still a dog always leave their mark. Because wherever they go, you can tell, because that's why they can go back to their area.
Yeah.
Well, me, whatever client I have, whether I had them for 15, 20 years, they never forget me because I do things that nobody else does. So I would say, whatever service you provide, whatever that you do, leave your mark. Leave that unbelievable service that nobody can come behind you because you're that good of it, you're that proud of it, and you appreciate the person, you appreciate the service, and always tell them how grateful you are for them using your service, is what I would say.
Absolutely. To love on your clients, to love on your people.
Yes.
I share that from when I was in corporate America. Your number one asset is your team, your employees, whatever that is, because they will love, if you love on them, they'll love on your clients. Same thing as an entrepreneur is to love on your team, to love on your clients, and to understand that, the extra touch really is what takes it the extra mile. And so the last question that I like to wrap up here with, and it's always so fun, it's kind of an imaginative, fun question is, so you're cleaning your house. We got to make sure this is your house. You're cleaning your house and there's a closet that that you haven't touched for years. And you're like, today's the day. I'm going to muck out that closet and I'm going to, just organize it and get it back into, to what I think is perfection. But as you're cleaning this closet, you come across the duffel bag. And in this duffel bag is $1 million that you forgot about, because what I didn't tell you, Miss Raya, is that you're beyond wealthy. You don't want for anything. You have $1 million sitting in your closet for the past 20 years that you've forgotten about. So my point being is, when you discover this duffel bag of $1 million, what are you going to do with that $1 million?
I would definitely do some charity with that. I would give some charity because I do work with some organization here in Atlanta. I would take care of people that I know that need help, whether it was housing, whether it was college bill, whatever that they needed. I would take care of them first. And then I would make sure I put something up for my children if they didn't already have that plan. I would be last.
I love it. Absolutely.
And and we share this all the time, especially in our community, is that helping everyone live life optimally and helping everybody win in their business, in their brand, and really understanding that there's enough abundance out here for us all. When we first jumped into metaverse, we got into this to this one in particular place, and we realized that everybody had competition. Everybody was competing. We literally had this one lady change over from her foot fetish, to her all of a sudden designing apartments. And when we brought it up and we shared that, hey, there's no need for nobody to be number one. There's enough abundance for us all to win. And, we all can have the piece of the pie, but you don't have to do those type of things. And, the crazy thing about it is when sharing that, people get even more mad, right? When you say, hey, there's no competition. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, they hear that word and it sparks something in them from that old childhood and that old traumas of, oh, I got to compete. right? When it's not like that. And that's something that we share, is that there's enough abundance now that we've been able to create at the speed of thought and do things at the speed of thought with AI, with metaverse, and with by building in communities where we understand that there's enough for all of us, because there's 8 billion or 8 billion people on planet Earth, and all we really need is 1,000. And if you're thinking what's a billion, go sit down for 32 years, and that's one. There's 8 of those. So take 8 times 32. And so, this is where we have to be able to break those chains, break that limited mindset, and even more so in our own lives, right?
Yes.
Of being able to get out of that old mentality, breaking down those old traumas, getting rid of that fear, getting rid of that, oh, I can't do this and I'm not good at that. And especially moving forward, because now we're all being forced to do these things, and learn these things, because as a lot of these companies reorganize and implement, technology into their business, we're going to have to relearn some things and rethink some things. And so, with that being said, and everything that's coming up, if there was an entrepreneur out there that was stuck in the past and, needing to make that move and needing to make that shift, what would you whisper in their ear if they were contemplating on moving forward with the Biz-N-A-BOX or Metaverse or, our Pivot membership? What would you share with them through your experience that you've had so far?
I would tell them that technology is here. That mindset has to go. Back then, we use a lot of paper and a lot of pen. Now, everything is typing. Is the phone remember everything? The phone is the calendar now, not really physical calendar anymore. And if you want to be known, if you want to advertise, if you want the world to know about you, you need AI, because AI will surface when you're sleeping. It doesn't matter what part of the world that you're in. Technology will advertise, just like Amazon is all over the place. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can buy and ship, and this is what AI is. It works for you when you're not even working. It works for you even when you don't want to work. It works for you even when you don't even remember you have it, because it's constantly, it's like a merry-go-round. It's constantly going around, and it's resurfacing. It's keeping you alive. It's letting people know you existing. It does so much. And then when one person get in, then it follows to the next one, and it's like a chain. It just keep getting longer and longer. So because of that, you would be crazy not to adapt to the new technology if you want to succeed, if you want to make a difference, if you want to impact, if you want to help other people. This is the way to go. Old mindset gotta go. Just like when we were a child, we think as a child. As we get older, we're eating real food, and this is real food. We have to get out of the box and have an open mind, and knowing that if we're going to conquer the world, we have to have an open mind so we can get to where we need to go. Stop complaining. Stop making excuses. This is not time for that. Technology is not waiting on us. I don't care how old you are. You better get with the program, because it's here.
Yeah. So true. You would be amazed of how many people say, "Oh, David and Tara, I'm gonna hold off on this, and I'm gonna, invest in this, next year, or the next couple months, or in this, that, and the other." And I'm like, just like I asked you, you're losing business now. We had a conversation on technical debt. What is the cost of you not upgrading your systems, upgrading your static website, upgrading, your current, portfolio that you have now into the new age, especially as we remember algebra, right? You miss 1 or 2 weeks of algebra and don't do your homework, and then all of a sudden it comes the test or the semester, test. You are fresh out of luck. You don't know none of that stuff because you haven't been, putting yourself investing in that stuff. And now you're a fish out of water. And now it's like, oh, I got to spend like all this time trying to relearn these things, or spend an arm and a leg trying to get myself up to that and not embrace the change, not embrace the journey, and being forced to do these things. Kind of like people are now being forced to learn about Facebook. They're being forced to learn about YouTube. They're being forced to learn about these things because their job or their position or their entrepreneurship is sharing with them, hey, you gotta be here. But because they were one of those people, oh no, I don't get on Facebook. Oh no, I don't do this. Oh no, I don't do that. Now you're doing it and you're not enjoying it, and then it's not fun. And that's something that you shared, is you love doing these things because of the gratitude, because of the conversations you get back, and because of all the good things you get to help other people with. And then more importantly, you're growing because you understand the foundation of growing. So I appreciate you joining with us, Miss Raya. Is there anything else that we didn't ask that you wish we would have asked?
No, the only thing I would say is my book. They need to get my book on Amazon. It's a story that will inspire anyone. My 15-year-old is my co-author with that. It's from dealing with mental health, from mental health to going through a divorce, to bankrupt, to almost losing everything, and having faith and knowing that God can rebuild everything, can give everything back. And no matter what the challenges are, you can get back up. And that second chance is here if you want it. So this book is for all ages. Anybody who can buy this book on Amazon, it will make an impact, and they would see that they're not alone. I know there's a lot of books out there for different things, but we all have a story, and we all can inspire by something, by someone, or something we didn't even think about. And last year was a rough year for me with my daughter, knowing that she had a plan. And right before my eye, I was praying. God was telling me something, but I couldn't pinpoint on some things. But it's to always pray with your children, always anoint them, and always follow the guts, the Holy Spirit, and do what you're supposed to do, because the calling is personal. But whatever he tells you to do, you got to be obedient to it and do what you need to do to serve the kingdom, the community, because it takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to make impact. It takes a village to do what we do. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I'm just it's a lot. And I am so grateful, so grateful to be part of this community, part of this family. You guys are awesome. And I thank God for you guys. And I pray that God will blow you guys' mind and will give you everything you guys' heart desire. The sky is the limit. There is nothing that you guys cannot do. Your children, and the community that you guys are helping with. And I mean, you guys don't even charge enough for what you do. The work, but I see the love, I see the passion. I know you guys not about the money, it's about helping community and get people to where they need to be. So I'm so grateful, so grateful to be part of this community, part of this family. And I am very, very appreciative of all the hard work. I can't wait to see where universe gonna take us with this AI.
That indeed, and that's why we share with people being preventative in their business, being preventative with this AI, being preventative utilizing this metaverse, which is nothing more than the third generation of the internet that we're all moving to, especially with these Apple Vision Pros that come out T-minus 1 day from today. And so, as I shared with you guys earlier, your laptop, your iPhone, your iPad is about to take a whole new evolution with these Apple Vision Pros, with these Quest, headsets, with the Ray-Bans that we're seeing with the AR, VR. The world is changing. The question is, are you changing? And that's exactly what we want to do, is help people make that change, make that shift. And as we share, we can help you, but the saving part is up to you. And that's where we have to, ask you, are you ready to cross the bridge? And this is where we ask people, we tell people, find your target audience, because our target audience is those people that are ready to make and cross that bridge, right? If we have to pull you and force you and push you over the bridge and get you wet and all that other stuff, it's probably not the best thing for you, because we want you to make that pivot, because there's going to be another pivot, and you're going to enjoy that pivot, because you're going to look back and be like, man, look how far we all came here together. And I was able to learn these steps. I was able to get showed these steps, and or I had somebody do these steps by joining the Pivot membership and being a part of the community. And so that's what we share to people, is open up the most expensive things. And there's three of them: a closed hand, right? A closed mouth, and a closed mindset is the most expensive things in the world. And sometimes we have to open them up. Not too much, right? But being sure that we're on an even level plane, and we're emotional aware of how all three of those things play a part in our life, because sometimes we lose grasp of those things and we forget those things, and we're not able to reinstore our integrity and hold our integrity at the end of the day, especially when we talk a lot and we don't walk a lot. Because I went shopping last week, and talk is still cheap.
Yes, yes. Very true, very true. I tell my daughter, I say, when you go to school, you don't wait until the chapter comes to read it. Always be ahead of the teacher, because if you read the material, by the time they're having a discussion, you can ask questions to better understand it. So by the time you get home, the homework is not as hard. Because I was one of those kids who would do my homework. I went above and beyond. And by the time I get in the classroom, I was able to say, okay, well, how come this and that and that? And I've had some professors or teachers that would get mad, and they're like, well, how do you know this? Because we haven't taught that yet, because I did my research, because I want to be ahead. And if you're ahead, you can learn, you can learn as you go, and you can explore, and you can have better understanding. The same thing with AI. As AI is getting bigger and expanding to different level, we have to grow with it. We have to be willing to learn. So, and if we have to get training, and I know I'm one of those who's gonna need some training, who's gonna need some help, because when you're multitasking, sometimes something kind of left behind. And that's where my kids come to. I'm like, okay, I need you to show me how to do this, because I need to get this done. So we have to use our children, whoever we can get, to be up to date and do what we need to do. And David and Tara is here. I mean, they're right there at your fingertips. You can't even say, well, I can't reach them. All you have to do is send an email, and they will get back to you. Whatever questions you have, you can put it in the chat. You can put it in the email, and they will get back to you. So we have no excuses not to move forward, not to move with technology. As God enlarging his brain, and as Tara is being the coach, because she's the magic behind the master. Because every president, their wives were smarter. I'm not saying you're not smart, David, but every good man has a smart wife behind them that push them to go further, to lead them. So you guys have the presidents right here. They're diving, they're directing everything. All we have to do is follow their footsteps, follow their direction, follow what they tell us to do. And the hard part is just say yes. Yes, I'm gonna, because my first meeting with David, I said, I'm doing this. I didn't have to think about it, because I saw the vision. I didn't have to see anything else. I saw the vision, and I know where I wanted to go. So if you know where you want to go, and you see the vision, and you know you want your business to expand, You don't want to work paycheck to paycheck. You don't want to have this stagnant life. You want to be able to go on vacation and your money working for you. Why not follow the president? Why not? That's all I got.
Hello.
That one.
I love it. I love it. Well, Ms. Raya, hey, look, I want you all to make sure that, you know, in the next minute, the next 30 seconds, you make sure you go to rmservices.io and you see Ms. Raya's Biz in the Box, and you go take advantage of all the good things she has. Go book a free consultation with her. Go buy her book. Go check out her crochet. Go check out her classes that she has. Everything that she has is in that one portfolio. And more importantly, go and follow her on social media. Go and like and go and love and comment and figure out who she is, because that's what we share with people. We're all one conversation away. We're all one click away. We're all one more thing that you're not doing now that you should be doing away from accomplishing the things that you want. And remember, whatever you want is on the other side of the things you don't do. And you know exactly what they are, right? And so with that being said, you guys have an amazing day. Ms. Raya, we thank you for coming and visiting with us and having this amazing conversation with us today. And as always, guys, you guys know what we do. It's love, it's kindness, it's integrity, and more importantly, it's commitment to your integrity and your word. And until next time, toodles! We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.